Hello everyone, and welcome to how to get HTC Vive input in Unity. My name is Jackson, and I'll be doing the first part of this tutorial. This tutorial contains 3 parts which consist of myself, Holly, and Travis, as we each go through different points in setting up and running the HTC Vive in Unity. In this first part, I'll be discussing what each component of the Vive does and how to set it up in a room for you to be able to run VR games in your scene. Each Vive contains a headset, 2 controllers, and 2 lighthouses. First, I'll be going over the headset. When putting on the headset, make sure to adjust the straps on either side so it fits your head comfortably. One thing to be wary of is the cable at the back of the headset. Make sure it is behind you at all times, as it is easy to get tangled or trip over and cause some serious damage to either yourself, the Vive, or your computer. The next thing we'll talk about is the controller. Each controller is identical, which consist of a touchpad, a trigger, and 2 side buttons on each controller. The button underneath the touchpad is to turn the controller on, and the button above the touchpad is to go to the menu. There is a wrist strap at the bottom of each controller. These wrist straps are designed so that in the event that you accidentally lose grip of your controller, you have little chance of causing actual damage to your equipment. Finally, we'll talk about the lighthouses. Each Vive has 2 lighthouses, which should be put in opposing corners of the room to form a sort of grid-like pattern. These lighthouses then send lasers across your play space, and photo sensors on the headset and the controllers pick them up. The Vive calculates both when and where each photo sensor was hit in your play space, and determines based on that where it should be in the virtual world. Here is a demonstration of me using the Vive. Notice that both wrist straps are attached, and the cable on the back of the headset is behind me. Next, we'll talk about how to set up the Vive. First, download SteamVR, a program that should come with the Vive when it is first installed. After SteamVR is installed, open the drop-down menu and select Room Setup. This program does most of the work for you, but I'll run through it as well. When you first open the Room Setup, you'll notice that there are 2 options, Room Scale and Standing Only. For the sake of this tutorial, we are going to be choosing Room Scale. Place the headset and the controllers in between the 2 lighthouses and then press Next. Here's an example of where the 2 lighthouses should be set up and the headset and controllers should be placed. The next step will be to find the monitor in your play space by pointing the controller at it and pointing the trigger. This is used to get a gauge of what the height of your area is. Here's an example. The next step is for the Vive to calibrate where the floor is in your play space. To do this, first place both your controllers on the floor and then click Calibrate. The Vive should do the rest. Finally, we can trace the area that you will be playing in. To do this, pick up one of the controllers and hold down the trigger to start tracing. Here is a demonstration of me using the controller to trace a space in the room. After you've finished tracing, the Vive will automatically make your space as close to a square as possible. If you're happy with the size of your space, click Next and you should be presented with a green box. This box will represent the max play area size you'll be able to work in. You do have an option to edit the space if you do feel like there is an issue with it. If you feel that there are no issues, then you're done. Now you can celebrate by playing some VR games of your own. Thank you for listening to part 1 of this tutorial. If you'd like to figure out how to program input in Unity, then be sure to check out part 2 with Travis. In the meantime, feel free to watch me playing this little archery minigame. This VR game is called The Lab, which was developed by Valve themselves. If you want to get a handle on how to play VR, then this is definitely a good way to start, as it is free. Goodbye and thank you for watching.
Oh. Yep. He's a milady, yeah.